And by the light of that little spinning wheel that I get on my live stream screen, I know that we are successfully live and it's time for the Virtual Pipe Club weekly meeting. I'm the host, David Dorian Ross. Welcome wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, possibly. And these are the guys in the Zoom room. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
There we go. Finally. Yeah, they spend the rest of the meeting with their microphones on and just making noise and stuff like that. But when I want them to say hello, they all get. So anyway, we are also, as usual, streaming live to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're out there watching, welcome to you too. And pop your name in and tell us where you're from. Hey, Little Fat Morgan's there. How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Love to see our friends who have been in and out and whatnot, and we'd love to see them over there on Facebook and YouTube. And once again, let me just show you, we have room. You can squeeze into the Zoom room. So if you want to join us, it's streaming to Tai Chi Fit. Oh, well, I'll fix that. Thank you for letting me know, Karen. So apparently I'm sharing my club meeting with all of my Tai Chi friends as well.
Well, welcome aboard.
Well, they all know. It's not like it's a big scandal or something. But then that means I want to go over here. So while I'm tinkering around, let me just say that today is a great day because we have a very special guest coming today. Has anybody ever heard of something called Kaywoodie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how about Medico?
Yep.
How about a little honey in your bowl? And don't go down the wrong road with that. That's a slogan for
Yellow Bowl.
the Yellow Bowl, exactly. Well, we happen to be really fortunate to have the president of the company that now owns all those brands, Bill Feuerbach. Bill, how do you pronounce your name? Feuerbach.
Yep.
I was just as far wrong as I could possibly be, but I'll get better.
I get it a bunch of different ways. So
anyway, Bill's here today, and we're gonna have a great opportunity to ask him some questions, hear his stories, find out more about where those companies and those brands are at right now. But first, we're gonna do a little of our weekly check-in on what everybody is smoking and what they're smoking it in. Tim, would you like to be our, and I'm picking on Tim especially because I meant to do this. In scrolling through the internet for photos of Bill, I actually came across one that has a picture of Bill and Tim together. And I was going to pull it up just for nostalgia's sake. But instead, I'll just let Tim be our host for going around the room. So here's what to do in case you have, developed amnesia in the last 7 days. Throw up your electronic hand, and Tim will help you get into it. Tim, take it away, buddy.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Virtual Pipe Club. Bill, thanks so much for being here. DDR, that picture that you saw was probably at the Kaywoodie, the annual Kaywoodie meeting that we have once a year at Christmas time, the New York Pipe Club Slow Smoking Contest, and that's probably where that picture was from. So in honor of today's guest, I am smoking a Kaywoodie Prince that was made for the Sherlock Holmes Pipe Club for one of their pipes of the year. Very nice Prince shape, very nice Sandblast, smokes really great. And with that, I just want to again welcome Bill, and I'm going to turn it over to Mike Rizzo. What are you smoking today?
Thanks, Tim. How is everybody? I hope everybody's doing well today. Today I'm smoking my Castello Chimney, C-Rock. I think it's a 4K, if I can remember. And in it, I'm smoking some Newminster 400, one of my favorite Virginias. And then after that, I have the Cobb Nation 21 Pipe of the Year with a little Former's Bird's Eye. You can see that, which is one of my, all three of the Former blends are awesome vapors. Bird's Eye to me is the more mild one, so I enjoy that a lot. David Klein, what are you up to?
Thank you, Mike. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, good.
Loud and clear.
So today I'm smoking my brand new pipe. This is the one I posted on the Facebook page. It's Seattle Pipe Club Pipe of the Year for 2021. And it's made by a fellow named Robert Amundsen, who lives up in Alaska.
Ooh.
And anyway, I'm enjoying the heck out of it so far. This is only my second smoke in it. And what I've got in there, which I think is appropriate, is some plum pudding, the SPC plum pudding. And when I finish that one, I'm going to go to my other new pipe, my Savinelli, and I think I'm going to smoke some Escudo in that one. But anyway, greetings from South Florida. And let's go next to Kent, the Wheeled Piper.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, all of you. Good to see all of you. Today, I am going to be smoking pipes in honor of Bill's family. First of all, I'll be smoking this WDC Milano with the Hessian Guard. And the reason for that is he was I believe Bill's great grandfather. Correct me if any of this is wrong,
Yep.
Bill.
You're right so far.
Okay, good. He joined the William DeMuth Company, and by 1903, he had become the production manager. He led that company to be the best-selling pipe firm in the first 2 decades of the 20th century, and he is credited with championing the Milano pipe line and the Hessian Guard, and they were wildly popular. So there'll be some Edgeworth Ready Rubbed match in that one. The second pipe will be a Medico Aztec silver overlaid pipe, and that's in honor of William F. Senior, and he was the he became, trying to get my dates right here, the assistant treasurer of Sam Frank, Sam Frank's company, and Ferdinand, at the death of Frank Senior, was VP and treasurer, and then he was assistant treasurer. And so Medicos and WDCs were made in the same Richmond Hills factory in Queens, very close to where Dimitri lives. And the third pipe will be a Carburetor Pipe, introduced in 1936 for Kaywoodie, by Kaywoodie, and that'll be in honor of your father, who passed away last year. Mine did also. So he came to the company out of school with wonderful degrees and wonderful plans, and was there many, many decades, and led through the 60s and beyond. And I will have in those last two pipes match holiday mixture and Lane Limited Burley Light without a bite. So It's for your family, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to pass it along to Darren. Darren, what are you smoking and what are you smoking it in?
All right. Well, fellas, today I'm inside the house, so I won't be smoking yet, but I've got a real cool Kaywoodie collector's edition from the 60s that I picked up in an antique shop. It's one of my favorite pipes. It's got a great shape, this is just a cool pipe. I never seen a pipe that said Kaywoodie collectors on it before. So it's like, I got to have it. So I picked this pipe up. And then I was at another antique shop, and you never know what you're going to get. I got a tin of Prince Albert, no barcode on it. And what's cool about it is the tobacco was still inside.
Huh?
So I think I'm going to bring it to the Texas Pipe Show. I'm going to probably start rehydrating it, and I'm going to share it. I mean, it smells wonderful. The paper wrapping is still sealed and everything, so it still might be fresh. I'm just afraid to open it. But they started barcodes in the mid 70s, I believe. So this tin is before the mid 70s, and I looked up the Prince Albert tin. They started making the tins, I think, in 1960. So this tin could be anywhere between 1960 and 1974. And the tobacco is still sealed. So I don't know. Do I just keep it as a talking point, or do I rehydrate it or do I rehydrate it and smoke it?
Okay.
You gotta smoke it. Tobacco is meant to be smoked.
Yeah, what's the point otherwise?
Then I'm gonna rehydrate it and smoke it. But I don't know if I should rehydrate it in the packaging or take it out of the packaging.
Just be careful it doesn't crumble into dust.
Yeah, I heard about that. Someone mentioned if I'm smoking this, I should use a pipe that takes a filter.
Well, you need to get it rehydrated first.
Yeah,
Very slowly, very carefully. Distilled water only.
So what do you think about doing the Bovita packs?
It'll probably work too.
Okay. All right, then I'm definitely going to rehydrate it.
Yeah, the packaging is probably permeable, so I would leave it in the packaging.
And rehydrate it in the package?
Yeah, let's leave it for a few weeks, a few months for the Bovita pack.
Moisture go right through the walls of the package.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's pretty. I was reading the packaging. There's even a coupon on there that says a special deal for the other company's pipes. We won't mention the other company's name since Bill's on here. But there's a coupon. So there's a coupon on there to get a pipe from the other company.
Send it in.
I will send it in. All right, I am going to pass the virtual pipe to my fellow Texan, Alvin.
Thank you, Darren. And hello, everyone. Glad to see all of you again. Been kind of a family obligation, so I was able to jump in. And Darren, I will see you at the Texas Pipe Show. Looking forward to that.
Yes, sir.
I am smoking my Boswell's shot shell, Ben Apple, and I've got some Ken Byron Ventures Burley Morning Pipe in it, which is one of my favorite morning smokes. And it's still morning for me because this is the first time I've had a chance to sit down and have a pipe. And then for my the second half, I've got my IMP Meerschaum Ben Apple. And I'm going to have some Ate Your English breakfast in that little English blend. So that covers my repertoire of tobaccos for the afternoon. And let's see. I think let me see who's. Bud, you haven't gone yet, have you?
No, sir.
Turn it over to you,
Hello,
sir.
everybody. All right, thanks, Al. It's a drizzly day here in San Diego County, and I'm finishing up a pipe in a stand well of some Wilkie 515, which is like a rum flavored blend, and I'll follow that up with the club pipe with some this year's Sun Bear. And I'll pass the pipe to Stephen Imus.
Thanks a lot. Well, in honor of being from Missouri, thought today I'd smoke the 2021 Club Pipe and the Charlestown Cobbler Pipe. And in them, I don't know which is which, I've got some Burley Morning Flake, and I just got in some Solani aged Burley. So they're both good Burley blends. Let me pass this pipe to my good friend, Miguel.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. I'm smoking this morning to start. I'm smoking a Dunhill Chestnut Group 3 Quaint. In it, it will be the McBarron Original Choice. And then after that, it will be Tom Eltang Bamboo with McBarron Royal Twist. Before I pass it to another member, I just want to say happy birthday to our friend Brian Levine. Brian Levine's birthday today. So I will pass the Virtual Pipe Club to our friend Pablo.
Hi, everybody. From New York City, where it's overcast and drizzly. And I am smoking, I called up Ivan Reese in Chicago and placed an order and spoke to one of the salesmen, and he sent me a bunch of stuff that I hadn't tried before. And it's a lot of really good stuff, really interesting stuff. Last night I had one called Da Vinci, which is really cool. A lot of Latakia in it, if anybody likes that. And right now I am smoking Galvin Hoggart's Best Brown number 2. It's a very smokable, I guess, brown flake. Very nice fruit note. Really, really good tobacco. And I'm smoking it in my tiny little meerschaum. It's one of the pipes that I bought from Nat Sherman when it was still open. And incidentally, Nat Sherman's is about 5 blocks away from where I live now, and I moved here 2 weeks after they closed, so it's just my luck. That's otherwise probably a good thing, because otherwise I'd be there like most days, spending too much time. And afterward, I'm going to try another tobacco that I've never had, called Midnight Ride by Don Tobacco. Looks exciting, Oriental Virginia and Perique. Sounds like my jam. So I will pass the pipe to David. Adelante.
Muchas gracias, amigo. Okay, today I'm smoking something I try new. Well, I'm smoking a Prince Comoy, one of my favorite brands and shapes. But today I tried some of the Dorlet and Ryan's or Mac Ryan's blends. I'm only smoking an Oriental, a triple Oriental, no Virginia, no Burley, nothing on it, with Janish, Bashma, and a little touch also of Samsung. And I cannot imagine how awesome it's been that I haven't smoked Orientals by itself more often. So you notice like the spice of the Janice compared with the sweetness of the Bashma, and the Samsung being like the thing that like kind of overpowers the whole smoke together. I recommend you guys to do this. I know if you guys want to know, Sadleaf is making a blend sort of like this in bulk, so you guys can purchase it online or at your tobacco shop, either by itself, which I recommend you guys to try, or just to blend it with any other leaf. And since I was smoking this at my Pipe Club meeting this morning, so it's halfway, today I'm gonna be smoking one of my favorite, this Rinaldi kind of shape. It has like an amazing grain. That's the best thing of it. And yesterday I opened this one. I don't know if you guys hear about it. Cobblestone. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can see it. The Cobblestone brand. It's one of the new brands that Cobblestone. It's made by Sadleaf. I really recommend you a few. They have aromatics, Virginias, Burleys, other blends. The brick one is it's a Virginia Plague. It's just kind of fermented stove Virginia. And I was a little bit reluctant at first just because of the fact that, Sadleaf puts too much casing always or topping on their blends. But this one is really, really mild. Doesn't have much casing whatsoever. As you can see, it's like one of these plug cakes. It's a little bit vinegary, but the fermented Virginias give the spice. Of course, it doesn't have perique or anything else, but it's kind of a spicy, tangy. You can notice the sweetness of the Virginia all the way around. So I really recommend you guys this one for people who likes darker Virginias. So that's it for me today. Let's see who's there. John Thorpe, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, hi guys. Yeah, I've been busy with work, and but the next couple of weeks I'll be back. Today I'm smoking my Peterson Sherlock Holmes Squire, and in it I've got some Gold Block. It was a tobacco that the Smoking Pipes Shane Ireland was mentioning on one of his web videos that they found in their storage cellar at the shop, and it was from 2016, and they're out of it now. But I picked up a couple tins. It's really, really good. And then my second pipe will be my 7LE 320, and I'll still be smoking some more of the Gold Block. So I'll see you guys next week as well. I'll pass the virtual pipe over to Stuart.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'll be smoking a mixture of Briar and Meerschaum wine. It's called the Capmere from the 70s, P-lip, number 6 shape from Peterson. And in it will be Squadron Leader. So once I get this fired up, it'll be a enjoyable smoke. We've got a overcast day as well, so we seem to be following fun. Pass the virtual pipe over to Dave Johnson.
Thank you, sir. Right now, I've got a Missouri Meerschaum. I can't remember the name of it. I just got it in yesterday. It's kind of red, actually. I haven't seen that before. But I've got my pick of pipes for this afternoon, because I opened email yesterday and I got 11 pipes from Missouri Meerschaum. So I could just close my eyes and go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and grab a pipe, and then I'll have a pipe that I haven't smoked yet. So now I like doing that. In case you haven't figured out, I really like cobs. But I like Briars too. As long as I've been smoking pipes, it's weird. As long as I've been smoking pipes, and as easy as it used to be to walk into a drugstore someplace and grab a Meerschaum or Kaywoodie or something along that, Yellow Bolt or something along that line, I've never owned one. I was gifted a Dr. Grabo years and years and years ago, but I smoked it once and ended up losing it, and I've never had another one. So it's always been Briar with me, but I've for some reason I've gotten a cob bug. So anyway, I've got Cornell and Deal Irish Blessing in this one. And then later on, it's probably going to be, all of the names are on the shelf behind me. I can't think of it, but it's one of the Cornell and Deal maple something. I just bought it. I just got it in yesterday, before yesterday. I haven't tried it yet. So,
Black and gold.
I'm sorry?
Black and gold. That one?
No, I don't. Well, it could be. I think I got some of that, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. But anyway.
Sounds like autumn evening.
Yeah, or autumn.
I'll let you know when I think of it. Anyway, let me see. I'm going to pass this on to Michael Schroeder.
Hello, everyone. I'm smoking a Walt Hettinger. That's a carver that is in the Chesapeake Pike Club that I belong to. And I have the world's largest collection of his pipes. It stands at 15 at this point. And I'm smoking fourth generation Evening Flake. And I'll pass on to Steve Spett.
Thank you, Michael. Hello and welcome to everybody. Great to see everybody. Speaking of cobs, I missed last week's meeting. I was enjoying Oktoberfest activities in Herman, Missouri, which is only a hop, skip, and a jump from the home of Missouri Meerschaum in Washington. So of course that warranted a stop on the way home. And I did pick up a few really cool new cobs that I'll save to share those with you another time. But today, another recent acquisition, my first Castello. It's a Lavat. It's just a gorgeous, wonderful smoker.
That is beautiful.
So
that is beautiful.
I got at least one pipe that Rizzo will covet a little bit, but yeah, loving it. And
if you ever get sick of it, you know where to bring it.
Right. Gonna enjoy a little Savinelli Jupiter Antique Burley Blend today. At least to get started. Not sure what will come later. Let's see who is left. Uh-oh, I'm not seeing any hands. What, Alistair, have you? Alistair Campbell.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. It's nice to be with everyone here. Today, I am smoking this old Bones I have. It's lovely. It smokes really well. And I'm smoking a blend that I've never had before because Halloween is coming. So Pirate Cake is the one of choice. When I'm done with that, I'm going to go completely different and have a little Amphora Black Cavendish in this old Missouri Meerschaum. So, having spoken now, I will turn it over to John, state of North Carolina.
Thank you, Alistair. Hope everyone's doing well today. Greetings from the coastal North Carolina. At the end of our meeting last week, we became the virtual cigar club. It reminded me of how long it's been since I've actually smoked a cigar. So I went and got one. This is a Partega stick, and it's nice. I'm enjoying this nicely. When I finish this, I'm going to switch over to Amphora Black Cavendish, and I'll probably move that into this Nording Horn for the rest of the evening. But cigars are a nice change. So that done, let me pass this on to our friend Ramachandran.
Thank you, sir. Greetings to all of you from India. Today I'm smoking my Rediche, in which I am having my MacBaron HH Old Dark Fight. And I think this will pull through me for today's meeting. And if it doesn't, then I'll have my Bones Order 320 shape, in which I'll be smoking CND's Bayou Night. Now with that, I now pass it on to Dave Harnick.
Howdy, folks. It's a really cold afternoon up here in Canada, -5 degrees. I'm sitting out on the patio because the wife and her girlfriends have taken over my smoking shed for the afternoon. So I hope you guys are all staying warm. I'm gonna have a bowl in my favorite vapor chimney, which is my Lorenzetti Titus. It smokes coins really nice. I can fit 3 in there. And then after that, I'm gonna pull out the cob if I can stay warm enough out here. And in that, I'm gonna pump a good shot of this really stinky Scarecrow, which is, it's the tin note will wake the dead. But it smokes really nice and smooth. So anyway, I hope everyone's having a good day, and we'll pass the pipe on to Steve. Went already, I guess, didn't you? Steve spent?
Yeah, he
I did,
go.
yes.
How
Sorry.
about Randall? Randall, have you gone?
Oh, but I'd be glad to.
Okay.
We got a chilly day here too up in northern Wisconsin. Not as cold as you, but there's beautiful bright sunshine, lots of colorful leaves. Today I'm smoking Reborn Classic, Dana's Pipe Shop, the Dan pipe. I really like this little guy. I never thought I would, but I'm just falling in love with it, left and right. It's just wonderful. And in it, ta-da, some of Miguel's favorite.
Thank you,
Match
Randall.
made in heaven right there. Perfect pairing.
Yeah, it is. It is. They just made in heaven, I guess you'd say. The old Virginia blend from Amphora. Well, let's see. I see Amir hanging out over there. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Randall. I'm doing good. Missed like I think it was 2 meetings I missed already. Apologize for that.
We're about to kick you out, so you're lucky. You can stay.
Was very busy with pipe orders, so I was like resting 1 hour before the meeting, hoping to like freshen up, and I fell straight away. So today I'm smoking my Bulldog Pipe of the Year from Red Chico from 2016. And I'm smoking a tobacco I got from Mike, Socherica Margate, still in this pack. And I have to say, I've been liking it so far. Today is my first smoke of it. I've smoked it like, I think it was 4 years ago, but I didn't get the taste. I mean, I didn't get the tobacco. I didn't get what it's all about. So, but this time, I think I really dig it. The tobacco is cut very fine. It's like almost like saffron light, very, very nicely cut. The only tobacco that I've seen cut that way is by Smoker's Haven. It's called Our Best Blend. If anybody have smoked that, is the smoothest tobacco I've ever tasted. Although not the best English, but the smoothest one. So I think it's because of the cut. Similar to this one, it's very smooth right now. So yeah, so I'm gonna pass the virtual pipe club to virtual pipe, not the virtual pipe club, the virtual pipe to Fadi. Have you gone, Fadi?
Thank you, Amir. Greetings. Thank you,
I think
Amir.
I'm the last one.
Do you hear me, guys?
Oh yeah,
you're good, buddy.
Yeah. So greetings from Beirut, and I would like to start by congratulating my friend Mike Rizzo for his wedding anniversary.
Thank you, Fadi. Thank you.
And
he hasn't killed me yet, so I'm still alive. Thank God.
And I'm happy to see you again this week. So I'm smoking in my Moretti Canadian, a bowl of Amphora Virginia, but blended with some Virginia McBaron flake. So McBaron Virginia flake. And I find this blending or this mixture quite interesting and delicious. Afterwards, I will finish with a bowl of English tobacco. It's McBaron Virginia, vintage Latakia. And I haven't decided yet in which pipe I will smoke it in. So that's it, friends. I think I see a hand raised of Glenn. Glenn, shall I pass the virtual pipe to you?
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's my microphone. Hope everyone is well today. It's just barely above freezing here in Minnesota, but nice and brisk. I love it. Today, in honor of Bill's appearance, I'm smoking one of my old favorites. It's a, I would call it a Lovat, but it's a round pencil shank, super grain Kaywoodie. Very nice pipe. I've had it for a few years now. It smokes well. And my honorarium pipe is a Yellow Bowl Imperial. And this is a very large Wellington style, beautiful grain, nice pipe, P-lip. I've had this one for about 5 years, and so far all I've done is polish it. I've never smoked it. And today the featured tobacco is Casey Jones Hero Blend. I was gifted a tin of this by someone who has actually quit smoking, but I have to admit it's wonderful. It's a nice, sweet, aromatic, Golden Virginia and Black Cavendish. Very nice. So I think the only one that hasn't gone is our moderator, David. So David Dorian Ross, it's back to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So, Bill, this may be the first time that you've had a chance to peer in on what we do. And this is a perfect example of why I love this group. Look at all these guys from all over the world. Ramachandran in India and Amir in are you in Malaysia, Amir?
Yeah, Malaysia.
Malaysia is, just all over the place. And we're also joined by all the guys over there. And I say guys because I'm an old-fashioned white dude, but we have plenty of women on the live stream as well. Steph is over there, and we often get a lot of ladies who come into the club. Anyway, I wanted to acknowledge some of the stuff that they're smoking as well, just because they're part of the group too, right? So let's see what we've got here. An Anton Manger freehand pipe from Germany with Astley's number 88, mature dark Virginia. Let's see, it goes so fast. All of a sudden, it's like everybody wants to chime in here. I am smoking Best Brown number 2 in a Peterson Handsome pipe. Some Orlick Golden Slice. Radiant Pipes is over here, and it says Kaywoodies and Yellow Bowls. Now we're talking my specialty. So, Bill, you got a fan there. So what am I smoking? I just kind of had I just did a clean out of my whole collection. Some of these are going to the veterans groups, but I thought for sure I had a Kaywoodie or two in this box, but I didn't want to go searching for it. So I pulled out my Peterson this morning. So this is this was an estate pipe, and it's really well seasoned, but only from the mid bowl down. So I have to smoke through a half a bowl to really have it start to have some character in there. It's also a P-lip, so don't hate me. And that's my first pipe. The second pipe I might change to is my Viking horn from Abdul Karim, because I love this pipe too. Now, what I'm smoking is something that I've just been kind of sitting on for a long time. Some of these tins hadn't been opened yet, and I was like, I need to smoke these. So I have a brand new cracked tin of Frogmorton. This is Frogmorton, just Frogmorton. And I think this is 2011. I also have a little tin of Frog Morton Across the Pond. This is labeled 2011. And then I really like this one. This is Frog Morton Cellar. This is 2015. So I'm on a Frog Morton kick, and my dog agrees that that's a great tobacco. So Darren and Alvin, guess what? I'll be in Dallas on the 5th as well. So I'll get a chance to see you guys at the Dallas show.
Great. Dave. Looking forward to it.
Oak City or wherever that is. Yeah, I'll be there. So that'll be 2 in a row.
Cedar Hill, I see.
Cedar Hill. I knew it had a tree in there somehow. Oak, cedar, fig. I don't know, something like that. Well, and by the way, just as a way of an announcement, so let me just throw this out there now so that we can just go right into our guest speaker and not have to break in and talk about this later. You're
pregnant.
Yeah. In our next segment, so a little bit of an announcement next weekend. All you guys who got your packages, I said don't open till Halloween, but you can open it one day before Halloween on Saturday the 30th for our club meeting. Shane Ireland will be here, and we're going to do a tasting of all that good Scarecrow and talk about the topic of how to do tastings on tobacco and what he gets out of it. I mean, he always pulls out like something incredible, like I taste the ancient, dust from a sarcophagus found in Egypt in 1934, and it's coming through that tobacco. I don't know how he gets all that stuff, but he's going to talk about it, and we'll be smoking those sample packages. Then the following week, it'll be time for us to be at the Dallas Pipe Show. So the rest of the gang, Tim and David and Miguel will help to be your hosts while I'm there once again as the roving reporter. And I have new camera gear to play with while I'm there.
iPhone 13.
I have the iPhone 13 now.
There you go.
Yes. And in fact, that's what you're seeing me on right now is the iPhone 13. And by the way, those of you who haven't been tuning in, I look so much handsomer on this phone than I usually do because it's, this is not really the real me.
What kind of effects are you
barks now?
What kind of effects? I'm using the turn back the clock de-aging effect. Is what
I would say the effect is frightening.
the effect is frightening. Yeah.
Shots fired.
Oh, listen, I live with 3 redheaded women, so I get much worse. So that you guys got to up your game if you want to roast me. Well, now that we've done that, let me scooch into our next segment. We've been talking as we've been sharing our pipes this morning. Several people pulled out their pipes in honor of our special guest. Their Kaywoodies, their Medicos, their Yellow Bowls. And to talk with Bill Feuerbach. You
got it.
I got it? Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Bill Feuerbach is here. Part of the dynasty of the family that runs the parent company that owns all those brands right now, and a few more. And we're delighted to have you here, Bill. And for those people who are out there who are new pipe smokers or who have been in a coma for the last 25 years, why don't we start with just a brief little personal history, tell everybody who you are, and then we'll just jump right into some other questions.
All right. Well, I'll start with the pipe and the tobacco like everybody else has. I'm smoking one of my own, handmade Kaywoodie, pretty large, with some Baby's Bottom. I don't know how old this tin is. It does still say Dunhill on it, so I'll probably go to some 965 and aperitif later, as mostly an English guy. Getting on to how I got into this business. It was a few years after I graduated college, and my father was in need of somebody to come work at the company who Basically to replace the vice president of sales, Andy Trevento, who had passed away, a longtime pipe man. So I started in 1990. Now in my 31st year in the pipe world. Probably been making pipes for about 25 years. No, maybe a little more than that. I am the fourth generation, the only one left at this point. My father had passed away last December. I'm actually talking to you from the shop in New Windsor, New York. I don't know how well I'll be able to move the laptop around to show you a little bit, but it's all within 30 feet of me, pretty much.
Bill, do you have your cell phone with you? Do you have an iPhone or a tablet?
I do. Yeah, I
so
do.
I'll text you, or Tim maybe can help me out here. We'll get you the link, and then you can Zoom opens up on your iPhone, and then that's easier to carry around to do the shop tour.
Okay.
But before we get there, so I'm assuming that you had been in the shop with your dad before you came back after college. Did you basically grow up in the shop, in the store?
My earliest memories are probably from the late 60s when the Kaywoodie, my father, when he started with the company in 1962, he worked in the Kaywoodie factory, which was in West New York, New Jersey. And we lived in North Jersey, about maybe half hour away. And sometimes on a Saturday, he'd have to go down, maybe an alarm went off or needed to check on something. And I remember going to the old factory, which was kind of neat because even though they weren't still running off them, there was like the big shaft with pulleys that would run off a common motor and would run all the equipment. It was a 3-story building, brick and timber construction. So yeah, I was probably, 7, 8 years old going to the factory with them.
Were you just like fascinated by, all these contraptions running around?
Yeah, kind of, but more just spending time with my dad. It was,
right.
It wasn't, it was, I didn't really have an appreciation for it at that point. As I got older, I did. And, then when he's like, hey, do you want to come work for me? I'm like, yeah, okay. Sounds good.
So, digging in a little bit here. So, right. So what part of the business do you recall, if there was one part of the business that really intrigued you? And to give you some context, we've had other guests on the show who have been part of families, that have been in the pipe business for 2 or 3 generations. Some of them were intrigued by making pipes. Some of them were intrigued by, the retail or the, part of the business. Was there something that you were like, wow, that's the most fascinating?
Definitely the manufacturing end of it, and seeing then they were pumping out 100,000, hundreds of thousands of pipes a year. So there were pipes in all stages of production, from the blocks to the newly phrased stummels to, pipes with the stems on them, and, all through the different operations, just sitting in bins. Because when I would go, there'd be no production going on. It'd be on a Saturday or sometimes even on a Sunday. But, just rummaging through the bins of stuff as a young kid was kind of neat. I don't know. It's
Yeah. Well, that's.
I don't know if it grabbed me then, but you know, when the time came to join the company, it was, yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And you said you came in as a replacement for the VP of sales. Did you jump right into that position, or did you sort of start off in the stock room?
Well, pretty much, you know, customer service, you know, talking to customers on the phone. But, you know, it was and still is a small company. So you wore many hats, you know, packing orders or, you know, taking inventory or, you know, whatever the need was.
Gotcha. So
chief bottle washer, right?
As a small business owner, I'm well familiar with that job. What did you go to college for? What were you studying?
My degree's in accounting.
Oh, so that was kind of a good fit then, in a way.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, I did, because of that background, you know, I did all the, you know, financial statements up through giving everything to the accountant to do the taxes. My father always wanted an outside person to do that, to kind of have a separation or, you know, accountability or whatever. So I still do that, but you know, now I'm, you know, probably 90% of my day is spent making pipes.
Well, I have a tip for you. As you might know, several of us went to the Richmond Pipe Show, and we went on the Sutliff factory tour. So their new president at Sutliff used to be their CFO, and now he's doing both jobs. So similar to what you're doing. His suggestion was that the first thing you do when you take on both those jobs is you build a bar in your office, because that's what he did.
Yeah, well, there are some beers in the fridge, and usually have a bottle of bourbon here, but took that home the other night and finished it off.
Just an idea.
Yeah.
Well, I got some other questions, but I thought maybe I would pause and see and kind of throw it open to the guys here in the Zoom room, and also to everybody watching over there on Facebook and YouTube. It's pretty just gentlemanly manners here. You know, everybody makes way for each other to ask questions. But if you're over there on the live stream, throw your questions, if you have any for Bill, up in the chat, and I'll pass them along. But fellas, got any questions for?
I have one. So I have two here. This is my great grandfather's pipe. This is a Kaywoodie 7714. The drink list, it still has the stinger on it, all that good stuff. But the bowl I've been searching for years, and it's not going to look like it. This was a yellow bowl tweed, which I bought. It was beat up. I thought maybe it could be restored, and I sent it off to Rick at Briarville, and he's like, I can stain it, you know. How rare were those tweed pipes when they were in production? Because they're almost impossible to find.
Yeah, I don't think they were produced very long. Those were, if I recall, either they were gray and white or black with white speckles on them, or
yeah, they were like black with white speckles.
Right. Yeah, probably not too easy to restore that finish.
No, which I found out the hard way.
Yeah, sand it off and just stain it brown.
That's exactly what he did. It still smokes great, but I've seen a couple people that have ones that are like in pristine, and they're really neat looking pipes.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, you know, I think, you know, in the Kaywoodie line there was the white Briar, which I think was marketed as like a pipe for formal occasions, you know, black and white, you know, like when you were out, when you could still do that at, you know, functions or like weddings or whatever, and you were, you know, dressed to the nines, you had a black and white pipe. So I think the yellow bowl tweed was that version, you know, for the yellow bowl line. I'm not looking exactly like the white Briar, but Just to, in tweed and tweed jacket,
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there. Like I always check eBay.
Play on that.
They're really rare, but I haven't made it to like any pipe shows to see if they're out
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, I don't recall off the top of my head, but it seems like it would be something for the 50s and 60s.
Awesome. What else? Any other questions? Let's go ahead and we're having a conversation over there on
every once in a while
we're having a bit of a conversation on behind the scenes over there on the live stream about why we don't smoke inside the house in America. And I said one word, wives. But apparently the guys in Europe are like, and so?
Yeah.
But
well, in New York City, a lot of the leases prohibit you from smoking in your own apartment now because of a law that passed a few years ago. So even if you're in your own place, you can't smoke.
Yeah, David, your comment reminded me one episode from George Burns and Grace Allen show when they have a French exchange student there. George is about to light up his cigar, and that young guy says, are you going to ask your wife for permission to smoke cigar? And George says, why? This is my cigar.
Let her get her own cigar. Yeah. Excellent. Super. What other questions or curiosity? We're kind of in the range of digging into Bill's past and starting his tenure with the company.
So, Bill, have Kaywoodie ever stopped production, or did anytime this past year or 2 years they changed the way you change the way you make pipes, or the person making the pipes is a different guy? Because I've remembered first time seeing, to me it's a new Kaywoodie because the club logo looks different. I've seen this on Nathan Davis from Nathan Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Are those like, and the prices are not, I don't believe it's the same as the price range of the other Kaywoodie pipes? Right?
Well, to your first point, back in the 1980s, we did get out of production for a few years. We had to, we were under financial distress, and we had to kind of close the manufacturing facility that we had on Long Island. Consolidated back into the original Medico factory for a year or two, and then moved up to Peekskill, New York. And at that point, we subcontracted out our production to a couple of Italian companies. There were some ex-employees, the Cristiano family who started Calabrese Pipes, who made some of our Medicos and some Kaywoodies as well. But then we got, I'd say it was probably just before I came into the company, we started making our own pipes again. We had like one or two more. On the Kaywoodie line, I think what you're referring to as far as the logo goes, when we resumed production, we no longer had the piece of equipment that did the inlaying of the white cloverleaf or the other version, the round white circle with the black cloverleaf inside. Mm-hmm. Do the inlays. So we had a stamp made that's more, it's an outline of the cloverleaf that's on the lower end Kaywoodies. It's just like a silver stamping foil that goes in, and over time that silver color will fade and maybe wear out a little bit. The higher priced ones, we use the same stamp, but we fill it with a white enamel so it stays, crisp and white for a long time. Then the other change, probably, I want to say around 2017, maybe 2018, we discontinued the screw-in drinkless feature on all Kaywoodies. The exception of the Kaywoodie Campus, which is a very small pipe, very slim shank. We still have a whole bunch of those stems with the fittings, so we can still make the screw-in Campus. The main reason why we switched was the company that made all those parts for us had gone out of business. The bushing, the part that goes into the shank. Can you everybody still hear me? Because I got can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can hear you.
Well, I got a message on the screen that said poor connection or something like that.
Breaking up a little, but we can hear you.
Okay. So rather than trying to make the metal bush match the stingers thread-wise, we just opted to go to all push-in stems, which I think most people prefer. At least anybody that I've talked to, they prefer push-ins to the screw-ins. So.
I have a question for Bill. So, do you make all the handmaids?
Yeah.
What's the best way to, like? Do you do commissions or?
I've done some. I don't do a lot of commissions, but I have done some. I don't make a lot of handmaids, primarily because you're kind of making them on spec, like you're hoping that somebody's gonna like them and buy them. I've got more orders for standard production Kaywoodies than I can complete. I got probably a 4-month backlog on orders. That sounds like a lot, but it's, small staff. And, we produce what we know is going to sell and we can generate an invoice for. Mostly the handmaids, we started making them in 1998. Primarily to go to the pipe shows, like Richmond, Chicago, Columbus. Went to a DC show back in the early 90s, New York show. So prior to going to a show, I need probably days a year at this point.
Where?
So
me jump in.
What are some of the best places to, like, I see online when I've looked at them? There's that I guess it's West Virginia Smoke Shop has a pretty good selection of them. Is there certain places online that are better to try to find them than others?
Yeah, you probably look at.
Well, West WV Smoke Shop is probably has the most or the biggest selection at any given time. I mean, they used to be a Cup of Joe's, but they no longer buy them. Nate Davis at Kaywoodie has got them now and then. And like I said, I just went to the Richmond show, so I've got about 40 of them sitting on a table over here. I might, hold some up and show you guys if you're interested.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me pop in for just a second here to give Bill a chance to maybe switch to his iPhone over there. and then because it might be able to get a little bit better signal on the phone there than we're getting on the laptop at the moment. Listen, this happens all the time.
Okay.
Because
So I'm a little-
garages,
I'm
as
probably-
you know, are the best place to do live streaming ever. So, so while you're doing that, I just so here's what I would recommend, Bill. If you go to the email that I sent you earlier today, just copy that that link. Go to any one of your browsers. If you want to go to Safari or Chrome or whatever you're using, and just pop that into the browser bar and just hit, and it should say, "We'll open up Zoom." And
I'm signing in right now. Let's see what happens.
okay, see. And in the meantime, so we've got Mike Rizzo's got a great question on the floor right now about where to find some of those handmaids. And I was there at, we were there at Richmond. I passed by the table. I'm kicking myself that I didn't spend more time. We did say hello to each other, and then I passed on by. But next time I'll have some more manners, and I'll stay and talk with you some more.
I've been looking for one for a while, and every time I find one in a shape that I like, it's always sold. It's like I see pictures of it. I'm always like, man, I love that one. And so they're not easy to come by.
Okay, I'm on my
And I
phone
think
right now.
the ones that I said that look different, I think it was those handmaids, because I've seen it from Nathan Davis.
Okay,
And I
yeah.
didn't know it was handmade.
Yeah, the handmaids are nice. They're really nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, but thing is, even the simplest, cheapest, like main production Kaywoodie pipe is a great smoker. It might not look as fancy as some of the handmade, but they all great smokers, and that's most important thing about.
Oh
pipe.
yeah, I have this one that was my great grandfather's. It smokes like a charm. When I got it, the like the screw in tenon was off pretty good, almost like 45 degrees, but I was able to heat it up a little bit and then straighten it out. It smokes like a champ.
When it comes to Bill's handmaids, he makes like one of the best bulldogs you'll ever see. It's just it's masterful. And I like how he also makes some larger pipes, which I really like. I really enjoy those. And I just want to talk a little bit about like the yearly event that Kaywoodie sponsored at the New York Pipe Club, the slow smoke contest. I mean, this has been going on for years, and you go there once a year, you meet up with a whole bunch of guys who are all into pipes. It's a great day. They have wonderful food, and there's a slow smoke contest. And the really cool thing about it is everybody, for your entry fee to get in, I mean, you get a pipe, you get a Kaywoodie pipe for the slow smoke contest. So you get a great day of camaraderie, friends, pipes, and a pipe and a slow smoke contest. It's just like the best event of the year. Enjoyed it so much.
That's probably like best deal you can get on a brand new pipe.
Best deal you can get, absolutely, Dimitri.
Did they do that at the New York Pipe Show, or was it a separate event?
It was.
No, that's at Kaywoodie holiday event every year.
It was held at the Kaywoodie factory, the previous one, and then the more recent ones have been held in a local gun club.
Yeah, and also each of those slow smoking contest pipes, it has special stamp with a Christmas tree on the bottom, so it's a competition pipe, not just regular Kaywoodie.
So, Bill, I see you got on, and
I was just wondering if you could hear me on the phone.
Oh yeah, really well.
Yeah, and the picture's a lot better too.
Okay, so should I sign off of the laptop or just leave that going for now?
Leave it going for now. Sorry about that. Leave it going for the time being, because you might want to come back to it. But I think you're getting better signal on your phone there for.
Okay.
Mike, back to you with your question, and then Bill has volunteered to give us a shop tour, which
It won't take long.
What? Well, we might have you stop
say, it's all
and give commentary on parts of the thing. But
Yeah, so basically what I'd like to do is be able to get in contact with you, Bill, to be able to see what you have available, or maybe if, at some point get on a commission list or whatever, whatever. I'm just looking for a handmade, I have been for a while. So yeah, I'm definitely interested for sure.
Hey, still there? I flipped phones around, flipped views around, and we froze. Okay.
it will come back. Come back.
Well,
all right. In the meantime, Bill, here's what you got to do. I'm sure somewhere in your shop there's a box, and you have to stand with one foot on the box, hold your left hand towards the southeast, and then you'll get reception. That's just my guess. But while we're getting your signal back on your phone there, I'm curious. So your factory right now is in Long Island. Did I hear that correctly?
No, now it's upstate New York.
Now it's upstate New York. All right. So now I don't have anything from Bill on either device.
Can we cut to a commercial?
We can do a commercial. All right.
Okay, I'll do the commercial.
You want to do the commercial? All right. Hold on a second. I got to switch the camera over. And now a word from our sponsor.
Yeah, I just opened this tin, Park Lane from Paul Bonaquisti. Park Lane number 15, amazing English with period. And by the way, I bought it from Paul at Kaywoodie holiday party.
You lost me at English, but I like the Perique part.
Can you guys hear me?
It's really good. Well, basically, it's Park Lane number 12, which is just full body English. Number 15 is same thing plus Perique.
And not for nothing, a beautiful tin art on that as well.
Although for the first time in, I don't know, probably 2 years, I smoked an English blend. Smoked some Northwoods.
Bill's back. Let me see if I can get Bill back on.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. I think I'm on both now. I'm on my phone and the laptop.
All kidding aside, Bill, let's see what happens when you get up and start walking around. Maybe the signal is bottoming out in that spot right there.
Can you hear me?
I think I'm on both. I think I'm on both. All right.
Yeah, just mute one of them.
I got to. All right. How about now? Good.
That's better.
Great. All right. Yeah. The Wi-Fi signal comes and goes here sometimes. So. All right. So I'm going to try and flip the phone. See what happens. All right.
Just keep walking and talking, Bill, and it'll pick back up.
All right. Here we are. Okay. So let's see if I can flip the phone. All right. Can you guys see all this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So when we make pipes, we're pretty much starting over on this guy, which is a vertical upright, which, if you can see, has a drilling head, which does the mortise. And then we'll also face off the end of the shank and put a countersink. And it's a pretty versatile piece of equipment because then I could take that drill head off and put on this guy, which is a tenon cutter. So I can cut my stems and drill my mortises all on this one piece of equipment. Then underneath here, it's got self-centering jaws that it's really like the workhorse of the shop. Panning along here.
And then how old is that machine?
It's got to be from the 50s. Probably 1950s, I would say.
Is that something specific to the way you make pipes, or like, because I don't think I've seen that specific setup with some other pipe makers. Is that something that's kind of like?
I don't know if it was made in-house. We had, at one point, we had probably 10 of these. I've got 2 of them now. One's acts as a spare, in case I have an issue with the device that goes up and down the shaft. The bearings that are in there, if they get toast, I'll have a spare to use.
And is that a foot pedal control right there?
Yep, foot pedal. Let's see, foot pedal control, which brings the drill head up and down.
Look at that, it's neat.
Yeah, like I said, self-centering jaws. If I can put one in here.
That's neat.
A little noisy. I'll just drill one for you.
Go ahead. Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, Mike, I was thinking the same thing. In all of the shops I've seen, whether it's the factories or some of the other artisan carvers, I've never seen a vertical lathe or drill.
Yeah, that's really neat. I like that.
What are we going to call that? A drathe.
Yeah.
The cool thing is it's an old machine with all of the briar shavings all over the floor and the machine itself. That's really cool. I would love to see an operation like that.
Yeah.
I want to just come in and spend a day taking photos. That we'll make an entire coffee table book just out of Bill's shop there.
I think we aggravated the Wi-Fi by having him do that, though.
It might be better if he turns off his Wi-Fi on the phone and tries to use the mobile network.
That's a great idea. Bill, if you can hear us, try switching from just turn off your Wi-Fi so that you're just getting your 5G.
Notice he's muted too. So
is it going to be better or a lot worse?
All right. How's that? Are we back?
There you
Are we
go.
back? All right. Well, that's without the Wi-Fi on. So,
It'll be
all
choppy.
right. Typical sanding station. These are all the sanding stations are set with multiple pulleys, so we can change the speeds for different types of work. Another sanding station over here. You can see a bunch of the different wheels, different sizes, different, a padded wheel, which is for the heel of the pipe. Yeah, there's flat wheels. There's some set up with different grits, so I don't have to change paper all the time. When I drill air holes, they're done freehand, just changing with a Jacobs chuck. This is actually a small drill right now, but I use 5/32. So this will mount right on the same shaft. I'll turn the speed down a little bit, and I can freehand the air holes that way. Couple different buffing stations. There's one over here. The other ones are on the other side. And it's a little dark over here. I don't have the overhead lights on, but this over here is an oven, electric oven, that you can stick the stem in the holes here, and it supports the pipe, and that'll heat the stem up so you can bend the stem instead of doing it over a flame.
That's awesome.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so a lot of time. And then sandblasting. Got a cabinet over here, which, if we're doing one at a time, if I'm doing a handmade, I can do that. Just really got this piece. I'm still playing around with it. But our main sandblast is this guy. It's a Pengborn sandblast cabinet. And the beauty of this is I could put inside this drum here, take this door off, and I could put about 300 bowls in there at one time. And then it rotates pretty slowly, tumbles the load. And on the one side and the inside, there's where the jet is for the media. Comes in and blasts all the bowls. So it's great. You load it with 300 pipes and then walk away.
That's crazy.
And you could check it, you check it every 2 hours just to see the progress. Some bowls get done faster than others. Some are really hard and they take a while.
On average, what is it? A couple hours for like a whole set?
Well, the max load we can put in is about 300. Then we'll, like I say, I'll check it at about 3 hours. Some are done. Some are just really starting to, the blast is very shallow. So you take out the done ones and you let the rest keep going.
Yeah, but basically, if you put less balls,
by about 5-6 hours,
time.
We're all done. Well, there is a point once you get down to about 150 bowls. The load is too small, and you wind up
Bill temporarily ran out of his 5G. So
inside of that barrel, which I could show it real quick. You can see all right, I went back to, are we good now?
Yep.
Yeah, we're good. I see a
I
lot of
switched
sweet
back.
handmaids on the table there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to those in a minute. I went back to the Wi-Fi. Over here, just a couple more buffing stations. So this one is a regular coarse buff. Use green Tripoli on for scratch removal on stems. And then our polish wheels. Use a white compound on this wheel and the Carnuba on this wheel. And you'll see they're pretty large. They're like 12-inch diameter. A lot of guys, artisan pipe makers, they use like I don't know what they are, 6-inch or 8-inch wheels. So that's pretty much the pipe making area, which you can see is not real extensive.
So we're all peering over your shoulder at seeing some of the pipes you have laid out on the table,
Okay.
including some of the bins of, I guess, half finished. Would love to get a tour of that.
Well, actually, on the production end, pipes, just shipped a bunch, about 200 pipes out yesterday. So every single one went out on orders. So I don't have any examples of anything in process except for just these stummels that have been, they're needing to be drilled on that upright I showed you. So this is the next batch of orders that are set to go. It's actually 2 orders for pipes and cigars. It's about 250 pipes on this order. So the only finished pipes I could show you are what is on this table here. So these are.
I'll take them all.
There's a stack there, Mike.
I was just gonna say, you know what pipe I'm looking at, all right?
There's a stack there, Mike.
That doesn't.
Is there anything you want to see up a little
Well,
closer?
in the display box, do I remember right? Is that a set?
No, well, the display box is actually, for a retail store to display pipes they may have for sale. What's in here are some previous year's pipe of the years. These Sandblasts, this came out of that barrel that I showed you.
I love that color. That color, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the tan shade.
And that bulldog looks amazing.
I was thinking about you, Dimitri, looking at that.
Bulldog. Here, Dimitri, you like bulldogs?
Oh,
yeah, especially
wow.
that bulldog.
This one's about 8 inches long.
Wow.
Pretty
I
massive.
love it. I love it.
I've got my wallet out. Let's buy them all today.
There you go.
And then they've got a bent bulldog.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I
love that.
Is it a Cumberland?
Well, it's not like vulcanite Cumberland. It's an acrylic Cumberland.
That's a beautiful.
But it's got a lot of the characteristics of Cumberland stem.
Can you show that stack, that real tall, slightly bent? Yeah, that one.
That one there.
Oh man, look at that. That thing is beautiful.
It's got sort of like a pointed, like, I don't know, prow or whatever you want to call it. Kind of like a skater.
That's awesome.
Well, any kind of chimney is for Mike, and the bulldogs are for me.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Can you put that aside for me?
Sure. And we got another little bent bulldog here. Smooth one. Smooth one. And then this is kind of fun. It's a diamond shank, like bent apple or a bent ball.
Really nice. The blast on that is amazing.
That is sweet.
That is
And that's
nice.
that's coming out of that blast cabinet. Not the where you do one at a time, out of that barrel. It does a really good job on it.
That's amazing that does that good of a blast. You would think that was hand blasted.
Yeah.
Right below that,
it-
Bill. Right below that, there's a Zulu, the one that you just held right there. That one there. That's nice. Okay, I'm buying that.
Yeah, you just sold at least 2, if not 3.
When blasting, if the grain is there, all those rings will come out.
Wow, that's
Holy,
beautiful.
that's beautiful.
I love that color. That color is amazing.
So this is a pretty big pipe in itself. It's like a paneled freehand. But as long as the grain is there to start, that big blast cabinet will do a pretty good job.
I love that.
The one thing it won't do is get real detail, like when you start to see the little individual fibers that run vertically against the ring grain. It won't really bring those out. So that's kind of why I got the other cabinet, to kind of play around with that, using some glass bead and see if I can bring out even more detail.
Do you have any tall billiards in that?
In the natural?
Yeah.
No, just the chubby billiards. In that natural.
That color's.
Well, while we're on that subject, Bill, what is the best way for people to come and see what you've got on inventory and then make an order? Should they call you or email you or go to the website?
Well, we could start with an email. I could send pictures if I could do something like this and show individually. Probably.
What's your email address?
Yeah, can you share it with the group?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's S.M Frank Co @AOL.com.
And just for everybody's context here, so S.M Frank is the company that Bill is the president of, but it is also the owner of all these different brands, not just Kaywoodie, but Medico and Yellow Bowl and Frank and a couple of others, if I'm not mistaken. And so,
well, those are the only three active ones. We at one point, we made the Demuth pipes, WDC pipes. We made in the 60s. Let me flip this around. In the 60s, we made something called Heritage, which was basically the Kaywoodie shapes, the Kaywoodie numbers, but with a push tenon instead of the screw-in tenon, because a lot of retail shops, for whatever reason, didn't want the screw-in. So that was an attempt to get more into the retail tobacconists. And then going back further, there was the CPF brand, there was Reese Premier Pipes.
Hey, Bill, you ship to Canada, do you?
I can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Zulu that I asked you. Can you, we'll talk about it. And I'll email
Okay, well,
you.
there's actually three of the dark browns. Yeah. So you got 1, 2, and 3.
Any of those.
And then over here, we've got the tan and the Zulu. Tan blast, and then a smooth natural. So that was our 2010 pipe of the year.
So if you missed the email there, I'm going to ramble this out slowly so you have enough time to go grab a pen or a pencil.
I put it in the chat down below.
Did you put it in it? So for those guys over there on the live stream, it is S.M. as in Mary, Frank, Co, right? C-O.
Right. Yep.
At
AOL.
At AOL. Dude, you're as old as I am. At AOL.com.
Hey, that goes back to the dial-up days.
I was just having that conversation today with my neighbor. It was like, didn't even know what that was.
Yeah, waiting for it to connect, all the little chimes it used to make.
You've got mail.
That's right.
Yes.
And apparently that's what Bill's connecting with us today on.
The router is in the office, which is, we're only 5,000 square feet here, but it's on the complete other side of where the pipe room is, or the pipe shop is. So the signal over here is a little sketchy.
It's on the 5th floor.
No, 1 floor. I wish it was a 5th floor. That would mean something's going right.
Well, that brings me to a question that I had. You mentioned that back in the 60s and maybe 70s that you were turning out 100,000 pipes, and I'm assuming that's a year.
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. So what's your production like these days?
At our height, it was probably, geez, going back to, if you add it up, like in the 30s, what Kaywoodie and Yellow Bowl were doing. Well, S.M Frank didn't buy the Kaywoodie line until 1955. So Kaywoodie and Yellow Bowl were separate in the 30s. On the S.M Frank side, there was Medico and Demuth. If you totaled up all those pipes, it was probably in excess of 2 million pipes a year.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, and one website I found that in the years 33 through 48, this is from the 48 Yellow Bowl catalog. In those first 25 years of Yellow Bowls, 25 million of those were sold. That's just Yellow Bowls.
Yeah.
Lot of pipes.
The ugly stepchild in our line was the Brylon Pipes, which I'm sure some of you know something about. We had a store display. It was just a cardboard card with pipe hooks on it. And the top of it said, Brylon, the pipe of tomorrow, over 10 million sold. And that display was probably from the late 70s. So 10 million Brylon pipes from the mid 60s to the late 70s.
There's one right here on the screen, guys.
I did smoke one of them a couple times. And if you're have a fast smoking cadence, they're gonna get way too hot for you. But what I found was it forced you to slow down your cadence.
And gurgles like a hash pipe.
So it kind of, in a way, it trained me to smoke slower, which translated, into a good experience with my Briar pipes. So, but yeah, if you smoked them fast, they got hotter than hell.
So what's the deal with Kaywoodie? Is he just a purveyor of Kaywoodie, or is
yes? What happened there was one of his online monikers is Crash the Gray. I think that might be his Instagram or something. So he was originally gonna call his company Graywood, just Graywood, LLC. But when he applied for that in New York State, there already was a company called Graywood. So he I guess when you fill out the paperwork, you fill out an alternate name that can be, assigned to your tax ID number. So he chose Kaywoodie. So yeah, he's a purveyor, and he's been down the shop quite a few times, and he's a good guy.
That's where I first really saw handmade.
In 2018, he was the winner of slow smoking contest.
Yes, he was. And he's got something to do. I don't know which office he holds. He's one of the officers in United Pipe Clubs of America. And he's all over social media. He's in all the Facebook forums and
I have a question. In the old days, has there always been a handmade line, or when the production of the factory was at its fullest, did you still have a small line that was totally by hand?
Well, I think it started in the mid 40s, and that we're actually using the exact same stamp from then to stamp current production handmades. It was a pipe that was stamped handmade Kaywoodie, standard shapes, a little bit oversized, and they were either several finishes, but there was some smooths, but there were also like a wide gouge carve. You'll see on a lot of those that pop up on eBay, kind of similar to a custom built, and I think that came about because of the, during the World War II, there were quite a few years you couldn't get Briar out of Europe. And, we had depleted our stockpile of pre-war Briar, or pretty close to it. We wound up with our first shipment was Algerian Briar. Once, I think it was a New York Times article from 1943 or something that, Kaywoodie gets their first shipment of Briar since the start of the war, from Algeria, 1 million blocks. So I think maybe the grain wasn't great on the Algerian. Maybe it had more pits in it. So that carving was a result of that.
Did I see in some of the history of Kaywoodie that during the war you guys used manzanita?
We did. We started a. It was actually before the S.M Frank Company, but I'll speak to the the Kaywoodie side. Before us, the company, the Kaywoodie Company, started a company called the Pacific Briarwood Company, which basically harvested the manzanita, from California, in the Santa Cruz Mountains area. Am I still there?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, manzanita was used for probably through the 40s. There was a line of pipes called, Mission Briar and Monterey. Those were all made from the manzanita. And on the Yellow Bowl side, they even used mountain laurel from the Carolinas. But both of those woods, the mountain laurel and the manzanita, just didn't hold up as well as Briar. So once we could get Briar, those two woods kind of went by the wayside.
Bill, mountain laurel was toxic. How did you get away with that?
I don't know. I don't know. They were called Breezewood. That was the name on them. It was only a few years.
Well, I'm just looking at the clock up there, and I want to now. By the way, I do this every weekend at about this time, and then I have to say, don't go anywhere because we're not done yet. But we are heading down towards the end of the meeting this week, and so I want to once again reach out to especially you guys over there on the live stream. If you've got some questions for Bill, this is a great time to throw them up there. I'll pass them along to him. And then, we've kind of been all over the place. But one thing we haven't talked about is, I was just saying that I saw you, and I kick myself for not spending more time with you at the Richmond show. What shows do you typically go to? And so where can people, hang out with you?
Well, I mean, I always, when there's a Richmond show, and there wasn't last year, I usually go there. The New York Pipe Show. Hopefully they'll have one in March. And I haven't been to Chicago in a couple of years, but they haven't had it in the last two. So hopefully there'll be a Chicago show next year. Those are the three pretty much that I've been going to. I mean, I have done Columbus before, but not recently.
When you go to those shows, so you're repping your own company and a very venerable line. Do you go to pick up new retailers, or to, like when I go to trade shows, it's basically to hang out with my buddies that live in other parts of the country?
Well, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of drinking going on, but I travel usually. I don't know if you guys know Paul Bonaquisti. I know Tim does.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Paul's great.
Yeah, great guy.
So we travel together, and I hang around. I mean, when we were going to Chicago, John Eels would be with us, and Linwood Hines from Richmond. And, we we do the show during the day, and we'd be drinking bourbon and scotch till 3, 4 in the morning sometimes, and come down all bleary-eyed the next day. So yeah, there's a lot of that going on. But then if I get approached by a retailer, I'll talk to them about carrying our products. I don't actively go out and pursue. But in Chicago, I would run into, Mike Gold, who's the president of Arango Cigar, who's a customer. So you have those opportunities to schmooze with your existing customers, which is always nice. And, when Music City Marketing was still around, I'd see Aaron Sism, and they were a big customer of ours. And so mostly it's, to, meet and talk with the collectors and the pipe smokers, but there's other business that goes on kind of behind the scenes.
Got it. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to turn it back over to you guys to, obviously we have not even scratched the surface of all the stories that Bill's got to share with us over the decades of being in the company and then running the company. So Bill, we're just going to have you come back again if you're up for it.
I'm yeah.
And by the way, on that note, before I forget, because again, I'm old, I want to thank Tim Heineck for making the suggestion and kind of reaching out to Bill initially and pushing it off to, help, encourage. He's nagging me is what he does, and which is absolutely the right thing to do to make sure that I made it happen. So Tim, thank you for being that.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Love having Bill here.
Tim, we've known each other, got to be 15, 20 years, I guess.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Since the early days of that Kaywoodie show, and of course at Newark, and were you at, I don't know, I came up to the Sherlock Club once or twice.
That must have been before my time, because I would have absolutely remembered you coming there for that. Yeah, it has been a long time, and it's one of the things that's great about the pipe world. You build these long-term relationships, and you might only see each other once a year for an event, but it's really memorable, every one of those events.
I remember when you first started making pipes too, and you'd come to the December thing and you'd bring your pipes, and it was like, damn, you're good. You got it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long road, and I've had some really good teachers who've helped me along the way.
Yeah, I think by and large, pipe makers like to share with other guys. There are some guys that maybe not, but you learn by this, trial and error. But I think by and large, there's a lot of sharing that goes on.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even been able to get started in this or have it as a hobby without all the support of many people along the way.
Well, let me push you guys out towards the door. I do this every week, and every week I have to explain myself because we have new people coming in and whatnot. This is so that we don't go much longer than 2 hours, because then our wives and partners and families will not let us come back next week. So that's the intention, that we keep everybody in good graces. And you should spend some time with family. You should take some time for yourself on a Saturday and Sunday as well. But this 2 hours is a special 2 hours. This is a really great time.
Kind of flew by too.
And Bill, I just have to say that I'm on the edge of my seat listening to all the parts of your story, and that's why I'm serious when I say I'd love to have you come back and tell us more.
Sure.
David, one final thing: a broken pipe announcement for a very avid Kaywoodie collector, Mick Ratliff of Columbus, Ohio, former owner of Barclay Pipes. regular at all the Chicago shows. Good friend of mine, passed away in
mine.
October.
Yeah. Yeah, Mick was a good customer besides being a friend. And anytime I'd be in Chicago, he would, first thing he did on Friday night when I had the room open was come and pick out a dozen pipes for the store. So, and he had quite a collection of Kaywoodies.
Great guy.
So
yep.
Whenever we hear something like that, you know, sit back and smoke a bowl for the broken pipe that is no longer with us in our community. Because everybody in the community is really precious, really special. So, let me do one last announcement about the next couple of meetings, and then we'll all scoot out and go have a solo bourbon on, for the finishing up the afternoon. Next weekend is the return of Shane Ireland to our club meeting, and we'll be talking specifically. See, now I actually have this new camera. It'll do the focusing. I don't have to hold it back. So we're going to talk about Scarecrow with that delicious cigar leaf in there, and we're going to explore Mike Rizzo's taste buds. Which that sounds weird now that it's said out loud, but what I mean is that he claims that it's foul tasting, and I think that it smells like a kid's bag of Halloween candy, but tastes like a really tasty tobacco. And so we're going to find out what's wrong with Mike, or with the tin that he got. So those of you who have the sample packs and whatnot, save a little bit, at least so that we can all smoke together next Saturday. And then the following week, and by the way, the whole theme is Halloween. So I might just wear my Doctor Strange Halloween costume. I don't know if I will or not, but then the following week, I will be at the Dallas Pipe Show along with Alvin, and who else was going to be there? Alistair. Right? Darren. Okay, so Darren and Alvin and I will be there making trouble as much as possible.
Steph told me she was coming too.
Yeah, there probably going to be some more. So we'll be doing another virtual tour of the show that day, and please tune in to be a part of the show. And I've got, like I said, I got a new rig. I'm going to steal Flat Cap Piper's idea about his audio because I have all the same equipment that he was using. So I'm like, oh, we're just going to rig that up, and should be even get an even better video out of that. Then we'll be well into the month of October, and we've got a bunch of stuff planned. We've got a virtual tour of Missouri Meerschaum and other stuff, which I won't tell you about until we get there. And in the meantime, as I say every week, and as everybody in this club says every week, regardless of whatever, like make your own choice about what you want to do with your health practices, but do something. Wash your hands, get the jab, wear the mask, stay in the basement for another 6 months, whatever you need to do to keep yourself healthy, because we don't want anything to happen to you, and we want to see you again. And on that note, have a great week, you guys. See you next week.
Hey,
Thanks,
Steve.
guys.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Bill.
Have a good one, everybody.
Bill.
Thanks, guys. Good seeing
Thank you.
y'all.
Another great
Looking
meeting.
forward to the next Kaywoodie event.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Hey, Dimitri, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Take care.
Take care, guys.